Hi, welcome back. It's Libby. It's the 5th of February 2021 and in my kitchen today I've done a bit of cooking before I've come on the video because I want to get ahead, and I wanted to show you a few things that I've made. So I wanted to make a cake today, just to give me a little bit of something sweet. I don't tend to buy biscuits and cake and things like from the supermarket. I always tend to make my own. One, and then I know what's in it, and also it's healthier. I can choose organic flour rather than having it shop bought, and you never know what it's in those things. So I'm going to get my cake out. So first of all, what I did, I used up lots of odds and ends. So I used up the flour that was left. I had half a bag of flour, so I kind of used nearly all of that up. I had some coconut oil. This is it's all gone now and washed out. I keep these jars; they're quite useful. So I used the oil, and it just happened to be just the right amount, 100 grams of oil. So I'm just going to get out the cake that I've made, and I've made a lemon drizzle cake. Yeah, see here? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to pop it down somewhere. It's quite hot. So I've left it hot because you put the drizzle in then. So what I've got a lemon, which I've juiced, and 2 tablespoons of icing sugar, and I've melted it so it's all like in a nice liquid, and I'm going to pour it over the cake, and this will just sit in the tin for about an hour maybe. You can take it out, but I find if you leave it in the tin it tends to soak in. So you've got it all nicely poured over there, and then I'll just leave it. And what I'll do with that cake, rather than just having it in a tin, I will actually slice it up and put it in my freezer. So then I can just, if I fancy a bit of cake, I can just take it out, and within 15-20 minutes I can have it with my coffee. It will be actually defrosted by then. Okay, what you also can do is, if you want to make it into a pudding, really versatile, this little lemon drizzle cake, because you can also make lime drizzle cake, you can make grapefruit drizzle cake, or you can make orange drizzle cake, depending on what you want. I prefer the lemons. I quite like that sourness. With the sugar, it's really nice. So you could have it with blueberries, some raspberries, a little bit of vegan cream with it, and you've got yourself a pudding. All right, so that's my cake done. So that's all used up the flour and the coconut oil. So I'll put that over there. I also made a sourdough loaf last night. So there's, it's nearly ready to go in the oven. I've got one of these lovely baskets, which you prove it in, yeah? And once that rises up a little bit more, it's not quite ready, I will put it in the oven. I have a pizza stone that I use, and I just literally put it over there. And a little tip, if you're making sourdough, put some hot water into a pan at the bottom of the oven, and it will steam it, and it makes it into that lovely crisp. I've been making sourdough now for about 2 years, no, a year, I would say. My son bought me the basket last Mother's Day, so we're coming up to Mother's Day in March, so it'll be just slightly over a year. So I love my sourdough, and I make one loaf a week, and I slice it up, and then I can have it with my toast or with scrambled eggs. Sometimes I eat eggs. I've got a friend who's got some chicken, so sometimes I get some eggs given to me. That's why I made the cake, because I had some eggs from a friend. Okay, so that's my cake done. In this saucepan here, I've got some dal left from yesterday. I dropped 2 portions off to 2 friends of mine. I just popped in and just dropped them at the doorstep. They have it for their lunch as well. So, and I've cooked 2 jacket potatoes, or a jacket potato in half. So that jacket potato I cooked while I was doing the cake. So that was in for probably 20 minutes before the cake went in. So just to save a little bit on the electricity. And then I'm going to warm up this dal for my lunch. We're a bit late today. And I've got some salad here. Now, I bought this bag of salad last Tuesday gone. And I put it in these little bags. These bags, we got them from Sainsbury's to save you using the plastic bags. I like these because they've got little air. It's like a mesh, so you can get the air in, and it keeps the salad really fresh. So what I tend to do, take it out of its plastic bag, give it a wash, put it in here, and then just store it at the bottom of the fridge, and it keeps nice and fresh. That will last me well into next week, because I just have a little bit of salad with my lunch. So I'll have that with the dal and the jacket potatoes. So that'll be really nice. Have that in a moment. So tonight's dinner, I'm going to make pulled jackfruit. Now, I thought I'd show you this recipe because a lot of people see jackfruit now in the supermarket and they're a bit worried about what to make with it. And you can make some really interesting things with it because it makes like pulled pork. So when it's taken out and you shred it, it actually comes like pulled pork. Now, I got this from Aldi. I have bought it in the past. When it first was sort of trendy, I bought some organic one from Clear Spring, and it was about £3 for the jar, but you get it in a jar and it is organic. This isn't organic. This is just a young jackfruit in water, and it says an amazing meat substitute. So, and it says I'm new. So it's got a ring pull, quite like that, especially if you go camping. I love going camping. I've been for 2 years. I need to get back to my camping. So, oh, this is a bit of a tough one. So the ring pull, when I can get it off, there we go. So if you can see inside, oh, I don't want to just do it so much. You can just kind of see that. It looks a bit like tuna, and it doesn't smell like tuna. It just smells like, I don't know what it smells like really. I haven't really got a taste. So I'm just going to take it out and I'm putting it into a sieve right now, if you can't quite see. And then what I'm going to do is I'll show you the quantity. So you get quite a lot. I think it's 400 grams, but it's in water. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to, I've got some water here. I'm just going to just wash it through with the water because I don't want it to be in that water that it was in the can with. Yeah, so you can rinse it through. I'm just going to put that over there somewhere out of the way. And just to give myself a bit of space. So, got that there. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you what I do. So, I'm going to marinate the... I've used that water now in that bowl. Never mind, hold on. Let me just grab that bowl, wash it out. I've got this mic on, which tends to give me a bit of restriction. So, I'm going to use this bowl again, and I'm going to make the barbecue sauce that it goes with. So, basically, what you're going to do is you're just going to take this pulled pork and take it into the glass jar here. Really easy, okay? So then what you need to do is you need to start putting everything in that we need, all right? So let me just get my notes here. Got them all organised. So we need to put in 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. Yeah, you need the smoke because you want it to taste like a bit of smokiness. So I'm just going to pour this over. In fact, you could actually do it. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put it in the jug rather than put it on there. So I'm going to put it in this jug. All right, so you've got 2 teaspoons of smoked paprika. And then we're going to put in 2, it says 3 cloves of garlic. And again, this garlic was quite big, so I put 2 teaspoons of garlic. Not teaspoons, 2 cloves of garlic. And I'm just going to mix that around a little bit. And then we're going to add 4 tablespoons of tamari. Now, I used tamari yesterday, and you could also use soy sauce. There's also another one called Liquis Amigos or something like that. That's also like a soy sauce, a fermented soy sauce. So 2, 3, 4. When you start to measure out, you kind of know how much 4 tablespoons are, but I kind of tend to use the measure on these videos. Okay, then we want 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. Now, I've got a little trick here. In the summer, I actually went foraging. I'm a bit of a forager. I like to go blackberry picking, and I picked up loads and loads of rose hips, and I've made all sorts of concoctions with it. I've got some rose hip syrup here. I've made a tincture with it. Where is it? There it is. I made a tincture with rose hip tincture. This is actually infused in vodka. Really good for your immune system, so you have a little glug of that every morning. And I've also made it into some tea. And then what I did, I cooked it. You probably can't just see there, but it makes like a tomato paste. Now, the rose hips and tomatoes have a very similar family. The plant family is very similar. So I've actually cooked this and sieved it. So I've taken all the seeds out and then I freeze it. It's a lot of faff, but I just thought I'd kind of do something a bit different, make something a bit different just to show you. So there we go. So that's the tomato puree that you would use, but I've used rose hips. But obviously you can use the good old tomato puree if you haven't got this, which I don't think you're likely to have. But I've got some in my freezer that I'd made, and I thought, you know what, I'm going to show you that. I love making different things, something a bit different. And I'm not, as I said yesterday, I'm not a huge fan of tomatoes. Yeah, you have to be careful with tomatoes, with your joints. If you've got tendency to get arthritis, things like that. My mum had quite bad arthritis, so I kind of avoid tomatoes when I can. Okay, so then we need to put in 2 tablespoons of apple cider vinegar. Now, normally I make apple cider vinegar with windfall apples. Didn't really get many last year, so because we're in lockdown and you can't go and, you know, people's houses. I've got a friend who's got loads of apples. So I've actually bought this one, but I tend to make my apple cider vinegar, and there is actually a video on this channel how to make it. So if you want to scroll back to the videos, you can find that. Okay, 2 tablespoons of that. What else? 2 tablespoons of neutral flavoured oil. I'm going to use sunflower oil. Again, this is organic. I tend to buy organic when I can. Because I just feel I like the fact that it's organic. If you can afford it, buy it. If you can't, that's no problem. Right, 4 tablespoons of water. I'm going to have to take my mic off and get some water because I've used it all from that other one. Okay, so I'm going to just get some water. I had it all organised and then changed the plan. Okay, so we're going to put 4 tablespoons of water. Okay, so it's a lot of liquid. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so put that over there. And 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. Now, I'm not sure if you put the maple syrup on at the end. I've made this a few times. No, you put the maple syrup in. Now, if you haven't got maple syrup, you can use honey. The reason I like maple syrup is because honey, you're not really supposed to cook with honey too much at high temperatures. One, it turns it into like a toxin. So it's best to not heat honey, just to eat it rather than heat it. Now, that's my own personal preference. I know chefs and things use it and they cook with it, honey roast, you know, things. But I prefer not to. So this is actually 2 teaspoons. I'm going to use 2 capfuls because it will be easier to do. So 2 teaspoons of maple syrup. And that's it. Just get that over there. Right, so that's, I think, we've got a spoon here. Okay, so I'm just going to mix it up and I'll show you on the camera. Okay, so it's just a jug of this lovely barbecue-y flavoured sauce. It smells really nice. So then what we're going to do, all we'll do is put the sauce over the jackfruit and leave it to marinate for probably 20 minutes. I won't leave it too long. And then what you can do is you just then literally put it into a roasting tin and then you cook it. And you cook it for... how long do you cook it for? It's 15 minutes in a preheated oven, and the oven temperature is about 200 degrees, so it gets it really crispy. And because it's got the maple syrup, it'll have that sort of sticky barbecue taste. Absolutely beautiful. And what I'll do, I'll cook this tonight. I'm not going to cook it now, so you can see it here. You can see it just looks like tuna. It looks like big chunks of tuna. Now there are some seeds in this, so which I didn't, pull out of everything. So if you wanted to, you could go through it when you come to roast it. And there are these little seeds. You can see one here. Now, they're actually not harmful. And they are quite soft. These are actually quite soft in here. So I would leave these in. But if you've got some that are a little bit too hard to eat, you might want to... There's a bigger one there. But they're soft, so I'm just saying you might not like the taste of the seeds. So if you don't like the taste of the seeds, just go through the can and pull out the seeds. But if not, you just marinate it for 20 minutes or so, put a cover over it, and then what I'll do is actually leave this till the evening. So I'll sit this over the side with a tea towel over the top, and then what I'll do is I'll serve it with some nice coleslaw. I have some coleslaw left from yesterday, which I made, and I found some wraps in my freezer, which would just a little mini wrap. So I'll do is pulled pork, pull it up, shred it, serve it in the wrap with some salad, the coleslaw, and if you wanted to have some chips or something like that on the side, you could do so. So that's me today. That's what I wanted to come on and show you. I've had my normal porridge and cereals and things this morning, and so I'm going to go and have my lunch because it's getting up to 2:30 nearly, I think, and I also want to get a run in today. So I will say goodbye. We're only at 15 minutes on this video. Hope you enjoyed the pulled pork. It's not pulled pork, pulled jackfruit. And let me know how you get on with it. Thanks ever so much for joining me today, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.